Hello everyone, good morning. It's Friday morning, self-love meditations going on here. I'm Janie Crick, I'm tuning in live. I hope you all have been having such a wonderful week. We've transitioned now from being in some hot post-hurricane weather, now moving into the beautiful, crisp fall weather. The fall leaves are coming and it just feels really nice to shed this layer, and to be a little bit more clear and to be a little bit more open and to be in a place of celebration. That's what the harvest is all about, and we're harvesting all the work that we've done over the past several months. So thank you all for showing up. Thank you for doing your work. This past week has been actually really beautiful for me. I had the opportunity last Friday after our meditation to spend some time with some honeybees and to harvest some honey, and it was just such a beautiful connection when you can meet and be level and honor such hard workers in our entire planet. These bees are just really magical, and I had an opportunity to work with them, so I'm just really grateful for that experience. It was an experience of humility, of grace, of peace, and of honoring and communicating that they were safe when I was working. All right, sorry, we're back. I had a phone call come through. So with that being said, last week's meditation was on the journal journey, and I hope you all had an opportunity after we met to sit with your journal and go through some of the prompts with yourself of writing yourself a love letter, or talking about 10 to 20 things that you're grateful for, and then maybe including that in a practice that you have for your self-love journey. Today there is a prompt on the description of this video, and I'll be including the journal entry prompts each video. This is the 4th video of our 4 video series, but I wanted to let you all know that I've been receiving some messages from my guides to continue this. So if you are enjoying these self-love meditations, I know that there will be one next week that we will get into, but I also am just leaving it open to the guidance that I'm getting from Spirit, from my guides, and they're saying keep doing it. So I appreciate you all and all your support, and hope that these have been as helpful for you as they have been for me in holding space for them. So I'm gonna get some sage going, because today is a really beautiful but a really vulnerable topic. We're going to be talking about sacred sexuality and how it applies to self-love and self-healing. And there's many different layers and variations of what sacred sexuality looks like. But today we're going to be focusing on sacred sexuality for self-love. So it can develop in many other ways, but that's our intention today. And I'm going to be honest, this was not a topic that I wanted to talk about, but something that Spirit said it's time to talk about this. So I'm coming from a vulnerable space right now, but am trusting all the angels and guides and guardians that this message is what needs to be heard right now. So thank you for holding space for this. So why don't we go ahead and get into a nice space of centering, of grounding. I'm going to call in some of our guides before I get into the talking portion of this. It just feels appropriate. So why don't we go ahead and take 3 full breaths in and 3 full breaths out, and on the exhales releasing anything from the week that does not serve you in this moment. Even if you have responsibilities coming up after this meditation, why don't we just let them go for now with these 3 breaths. So filling up the lungs all the way. And exhale. Feeling yourself sink more into the earth, wherever you are, if you're standing, if you're sitting, if you're moving, if you're in the car, feeling your full breath fill you up. And then on the exhale, finding that release. And then finally, the third breath, we fill in our lungs. And we drop into the heart. So I've already opened up a vortex this morning to create a sacred space where I am at. I'm asking the angels to aid me in sending this vortex of protection, this portal of healing to anyone who wants to be in this space with me right now, or maybe later when this video applies to their lives. I ask that the angels place a circle of protection around those who are receiving this message, that all information that comes through today is for the highest good, and it comes through in the clearest and most understandable way for the highest good of all. I call in my guides. I call in my guardians. I call in my ancestors. I call on the spirits of this land. I open myself up to the wisdom of the Pleiadians, our celestial star sisters and brothers. And I call in Mother Mary to hold us in this space of healing, in this space of growth. Thank you. And if you would like to invite any guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, spirits that you would like to work with, or that work with you, I invite you to do so now, calling them in. This is a space of love, light, and truth. No energies lower than that of the Mahatma love without condition are allowed into this space. I declare this now. Any energies lower than the Mahatma love without condition that are in this space, or in the space of those who have accepted this shield and bubble of light around them, any energies lower than the Mahatma love without condition that are in that space will clear now. I call in Saint Germain to fill this vortex with the sacred violet flame. Filling our hearts with love, with understanding, opening our perspective up so that we may see something new, that we may understand in a new way. So that we may heal in a new way. So getting into the intention of self-love and sacred sexuality, the first thing that really has come through around this topic was a channeling that I had heard from the Pleiadians a while back. And they talk about the true reason and purpose behind sex and sexual intercourse with another being, that we are all going on the idea that we are all energetic star beings and that we are energy. We can all get behind that idea, that when we exchange sexual intercourse with someone, that there is an exchange of energy, that there is an exchange of information. And the Pleiadians have told us and taught us that this exchange of energy is actually a way where we can receive information and downloads that another person may hold for us, whether it's in healing our karma, whether it's providing us with activations, or whether it's any number of things. But ultimately, the purpose of this exchange is to receive and to give, to share that energy. And that doesn't necessarily have to happen on a sexual level. There doesn't have to be any sort of penetration or anything like that where this exchange happens. It can actually happen on a very tantric and energetic level, where there's an exchange of breath, there's an exchange of touch, there's an exchange of the senses, without feeling like there needs to be any sort of deeper connection. With that being said, the reason that we as humans have decided to include the sexual contact was just that. We're human. We are creatures of touch and of feeling and of knowing and experiencing. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful tool that we have. And so what we have done is, in receiving downloads from people on a spiritual and energetic level, we have married that with the actions of this physical desire, which can be such a beautiful, beautiful experience. As we delve into this experience, and then there's the obvious sexual exchange for procreation, and which is also a download of information in its own self. But we're not talking about procreation today. But so with that being said, it's really important to be mindful of who you decide to share this energy with. When I first discovered the truth about sexual exchange, at least my truth about sexual exchange, it kind of made me feel a number of things, because I began to realize all the partners that I had and that had really given me a lot of downloads and a lot of karma to heal and release. And then in doing that, it was really a challenge for me to see the beauty in that. So being mindful with who you decide to exchange these energies with is really, really important, because when you do exchange it, you are receiving whatever's going on in their life right now. If you're having a sexual experience with someone who is just all over the place and has a hard time finding centering and has a hard time really sharing authenticity and truth, and they're going through their own karma, you will be receiving that energetic download from them when you decide to engage in this way. It's a very heightened energy when you get to these sexual places, and when you're opening yourself that much, you are open to receive that from them. Same thing goes with you. If you are in a place where you are going through a lot of growth and challenge and healing and pain, then really you need to be mindful of who you share your energy with on a sexual level. It can be challenging because there's always that desire to feel taken care of when we're in those hard and vulnerable places, to be held, to be loved, to be nurtured. And that's where we as humans kind of confuse intentions. So with that being said, I would like to get into a meditation around healing any energies that we may have picked up in any sort of sexual exchanges, and any sort of, whether it's physical exchanges, energetic exchanges, any sort of exchange around sexuality, around that draw to another being on a sexual level. It doesn't have to be any sort of physical exchange or act, but any sort of exchange that you've had with someone where you have felt a little bit depleted post-exchange. We're going to be getting into a meditation around healing that today. A little precursor for this meditation, because this is a meditation around healing sexuality, I'm going to invite, although you can make your own decisions, but I'm going to invite that you abstain from having any sort of sexual intercourse or sexual release for the next 24 hours after this meditation. So if that is something that doesn't align with your plans right now, maybe save this meditation for a time when it does. But it's going to be important to kind of protect yourself in that way after this exchange, because you'll be very open from this process. So why don't we go ahead and get back into that space of meditation and close our eyes now and find a comfortable place. And I'm going to resituate myself here. Cool. Friday is garbage day here, apparently. So thank you for tuning in with that. So why don't we go ahead and close our eyes and again get back into those breaths, feeling the energy and the space that we have created around us. So I'm going to invite you to imagine that there is a beautiful bowl of water sitting right in front of you. And this bowl of water is charged to the highest vibration. And I want you to notice what this water bowl looks like. I want you to notice the temperature of this water, what this bowl is sitting on, where you are in your space. And as you are visualizing this bowl of water sitting right in front of you, I want you to bring your hands in front of your heart in a prayer pose, centering yourself in this moment with this water, connecting to this water as if it's another human being right in front of you, holding this exchange with this water in that way. It's as if right now that you are having a dialogue with this bowl of pure crystal water. That you are receiving from it information and offering it information as well. Taking your hands now out in front of you, I want you to imagine that you are holding a nice, beautiful sponge. And the sponge is just glowing with this luminous light. But it's also a very humble sponge. It's very earthy. And you notice the texture of the sponge in your hands, and it's large enough where you can hold it with both hands. And it's soft. Very organic feeling, this sponge. When you're ready, you can slowly begin to place this sponge into this bowl of water. this beautifully charged water now filling this sponge up. Maybe playing with your hands in the water, feeling it on your skin. And from the sponge, you bring it to your body. And you hold it above your head, this beautiful sponge, and you begin to squeeze the sponge as it rolls over your body, rolling over your body. Beginning to bathe yourself in this energetic water and feeling it rolling down your head. And when then that water is released from the sponge, you then put the sponge back in the water and continue to just cover yourself with this water. Maybe covering your arms, really washing yourself with this sponge. And if you want to physically be doing this with your hands right now, I definitely invite that in. It's a nice addition to this. And you continue to take the sponge back to the water, bringing this water onto your body, feeling it on your back, on your hips, on your legs, on your feet, just washing yourself with this most divine and clear crystal water. And as you are washing yourself, you take the sponge and you wring it out over that bowl. And you wring it out and you let it release anything that it may have picked up, any dirt, anything from your body that you want to release. And then finally you take the sponge and you put it back in the water and you lift it up for a final connection with this beautiful sacred water and this beautiful luminous sponge, and you bring it to your sacral chakra. And slowly the sponge then begins to cross over the boundaries of our body, and it is now inside of your energetic light body. This beautiful, clean sponge, and it is on the inside of your body now. And gently you imagine this sponge at your sacral chakra slowly and gently beginning to wash out your sacral chakra of any muck, any gunk, anything that's been left behind that no longer serves you. The sponge begins to just pull that out and just wash it away. And from the sacral chakra, the sponge then moves to the more physical, tangible, cleaning area for the women, the uterus, cleaning out the uterus of any gunk from the past however many years of your life, any oldness that you don't want any there anymore. Just cleansing and wiping that away. And for men, clearing the testicles, the testes, getting into these areas and feeling okay and safe in doing so. Honoring your space where you are now. And the sponge doesn't miss a single spot. If there's any gunk inside of your sacral area, it make sure to wash it out. And behind it, it leaves a trail of that luminous light, leaving you crystal and clean. Placing your hands at your sacral chakra, moving them away from your body, pulling the sponge away from your body. You now have the sponge in your hand, and you begin to wring it out in this bowl. And as you wring it out in this bowl, this muck, this dirt, it releases from the sponge and completely transmutes. The water is still just as clean and as pure as it was before you pulled the sponge out and wrung it into it. And you dip the sponge back in the water, and then bring it back to your body and put it on the inside of your body, and anywhere in your physical body on the inside that you would like to wash, like cleaning out the inside of a vase. Let this sponge wash you. On any of your internal organs. Moves through the belly, through the hips, washing the legs, every spot, every nook and cranny of your body, really allowing yourself to go there, to be vulnerable with this. On your breasts, on your chest, on your armpits, your back, your glutes, your neck, your shoulders, your throat, the front of your neck, the back of your neck, your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, your head, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet, from the inside of your body. And again, only removing that which does not serve you. Until finally you bring your hands back to your sacral chakra once again, and you bring this sponge out of your body and then wring it again into this bowl of water in front of you. And as you wring this sponge into this bowl of water in front of you, it transmutes. Any gunk that it picked up, it transmutes, it clears, it releases, and the water in front of you is just as pure as it was when we first began. It is just as clean. And now that we've cleaned out all the gunk from our uterus and our sexual organs and our whole body, and it has been transmuted right in front of us in this bowl of water, and the water is just as crystal and as clean, we lift this bowl of water and we do our final rinse by pouring it over the top of our head and letting it roll down every inch of our body, rolling, 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 rolling. Until it finally rolls off of us, off of our bodies, into Mother Earth below us, and the Mother absorbs this water. This final rinse. Leaving you so clean, glowing in your light, and being mindful to be really gentle with yourself right now. We call on Mother Mary to remind us of that gentleness. And if this is something that's challenging for you right now, kind of jumped right into it. And if it feels challenging for you to release those things, it's okay. Know that it is okay. That you are held, that you are loved, and that the only energy that you are responsible for is your own. And that in releasing the energy and the lower vibrations that we've picked up along the way, you are freeing yourself to be in your highest good. And that is the most ultimate form of self-love. Tuning in now to the root chakra. We imagine that there is a beautiful cord dropping from the center of our root chakra down to the center of the earth, connecting us to Mother Earth, connecting us down, grounding us in, feeling our human self connecting with this beautiful, beautiful planet. And we connect this cord to the Mother's heart, the core of this earth. We pull the cord tight. And we feel it as we contract our Mula Bandha. And we take a deep breath in from the center of the earth into our root chakra, filling that entire space in your body. We breathe in. And we exhale. Good. Again, from that center of the earth, we take a deep breath into our sacral chakra, filling it up. Full breath in. Filling that entire space of the sacral area. And then exhale. Again, tuning in with that center of the earth. We breathe in from the core of Mother into our solar plexus. Breathing in. And we exhale. Good. Now tuning into the heart. Oh, this beautiful heart that you have. You have such a beautiful heart. So we breathe in from the Mother Earth. We breathe into this heart space, filling it up, filling the space. Inhale. And exhale. Breathing in from the center of the earth, up through the root, up through the sacral, up through the solar plexus, up through the heart, into the throat. We breathe in. And we exhale. The third eye. And we exhale. And finally the crown. We breathe in from the Mother, up the cord, into our root chakra, into our sacral chakra, into our solar plexus, our heart, our throat, our third eye, our crown. We breathe in, up, open, open, open. And exhale. Good. So, if there is a particular person or a particular exchange with someone that you've had that has restricted you in any sort of way sexually, I want you to find that energy inside of your body now. If it's still there. You may have cleared it out. But if there's a piece of you inside of your body that belongs to someone else, I want you to consolidate that energy into the center of your belly. And this can be any sort of projection that was given to you at any time. Any malice that was given to you at any time. Any codependence that was given to you at any time. Any expectation that was given to you at any time. And And we consolidate this all to the center, the center, the center of your being, of your body, that Dantian energy, that center of your belly. And we consolidate it and consolidate, and we pull it all in, and we compress it, and we compress it, and we compress it. And whomever gave you this energy specifically, because this is their work, because this is not your work to deal with, I invite you to send it back to them. And we send it with love, and we send it with grace, and we send it with compassion. And we just send this back to them. This is their work. Thank you for the lessons you've brought me, but we give it back to them so that they may complete any work that they have with this. And imagining that person now, and imagining their being, and finding in their being anything that you have given to them that is your work. Maybe you projected on something onto them. Maybe you had expectations of them that really needed to be focused on you and yourself. Maybe you had judgments or any sort of thing, anything, programming. And you consolidate it, and you see it in their light being consolidating into their center of their being. And acknowledging that it's your work, that they do not have to work through it, that they do not have to deal with it, that it's not their responsibility to heal that work that's yours. You bring it back to yourself. You bring it back. And maybe it's not the work, but maybe it's a part of your light being, your essence, your joy, your love that you may have overgiven. You bring it back, making yourself feel more complete, bringing it into your light body, and understanding that this work is now going to settle within you. Imagining this person in the highest gratitude. Sending them love, sending them light, sending them truth. If it's not a particular person that you're working with, but an energy exchange, or an idea, or a feeling, or anything, sending that love and light and truth and compassion. And finally, now that we have washed ourselves with this beautiful luminous sponge, and you can do this at any time when you need to clean out your sexual organs, to honor your sexual organs, to maybe release yourself of any downloads that you didn't want to receive. Or release yourself of any lessons that you are complete with. With the highest gratitude for all the lessons and all the downloads of these sexual exchanges. We hold gratitude for all the experiences, for the challenging ones, for the ones that bring up emotions of shame, guilt, confusion. We hold gratitude for those that bring up energies of ecstasy, of joy, of newness, of promise. And as we hold gratitude for these spaces, we release expectation. Finally, now that we have done what we can do for ourselves, we call in our guides in this moment. Tuning into that third eye, tuning in with the guides, I like to tune in with the Pleiadians, which is the star family that I resonate with. And you can ask your guides to help you in any way, to help you, to remove from you anything that you don't want inside of you, and to fill you up in any way, to give you direction. That's why they're here.